Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you guys have been following the drama, you know what I know, kind of, sort of. Well, here's a small update in terms of my account being banned. So, for everybody who's like, what did you do? Did you use BlueStacks? Did you do something else? No, I didn't. I can tell you exactly how I script my game, and it goes really, really fast, but it's not as complicated as you might think. You just take an iPhone, you plug a controller into it, you program the controller, and it does what you need it to do. So it's not that complicated, but that really wasn't why I was banned. Well, it might have been like the tip of the iceberg, I guess, for what triggered their system. Because, I mean, it's really fast. It clicks faster than you can and things like this. So, yeah, I mean, that could have started it. I'm being honest here, guys. I'm just telling you up front. But that is not the reason anymore. So the reason anymore is, I don't know. So when I press them about it, in the VIP support that isn't very VIP support lately, this is the answer that they give me. Your account data is abnormal. We're processing it. We will unban it later. Stop harassing me. Let me play. Wait, please. Okay, sure. I mean, like, what other choice do I have? Today, is it fixed? Please be patient and we will resolve this in a few days. So here's what I think is going to happen. They super duper absolutely do not want me to win against Coconut. They do not want any chance for me to defend. And those morons in 143, hopefully, they'll kind of figure out like how to play the game and they'll be able to conquer me this coming up weekend. And I can assure you that there's absolutely no way I'm getting a nice match this Saturday. This KVK is going to be ruthless. It's going to be 143 and 237, and that's just how it's going to roll. I can promise you. There's not going to be any, oh yeah, here's puppies and kittens revenge. We're going to do an appropriate match. No, I'm getting trolled as AF. And I can't spend this week. I was planning to max out the gems. I've been, getting Amazon coins and slowly topping up and things like that, but all this is gone. This is like, just forget it. That stuff is, I won't have time to do it, first of all. I don't have the feeling or motivation to do it anymore. I mean, like, my feeling for the game is I quit. Seriously, they can take it. They can stuff it up their butt. Pretty much everybody on my team is like that. People are asking, hey, what about Reserver? What about Rogue? What about Randall? Some of these things like this, forget it. Just forget it. We got like 3 or 4 people who are 4K stats. Forget it. We're done. Even if they give me my account back, I don't care. I'm just going to let it sit there and just whatever. I don't care. Seriously, I don't give up, anymore. So I just want to clear the air out of this, or clear the air on this. Clear the air. I mean, there's some stink floating around here. There's about to be a whole lot more stink too. So if you watch the video to this far, the title might have been clickbaity. I don't know what I'm going to use for a title. I got to give it some thought still. This is really spur of the moment. So here, let me tell you how things break down. This is the real deal for King of Avalon. There's insiders. There's basically cheaters. And then there's people who actually spend money. And I'm not going to comment on this. I will say I'm not an insider, okay? But I do have, what you're about to see is hopefully a WTF moment for you. Now, when you poke around in the game and you look at the source code, and I've known this for some time, and I've tried to tell people, and so here's the mistake. So when N14 was in our kingdom, I used to joke that I was an insider and I would antagonize N14. Like, I would legit just day one buy stuff and max out. This is legit money. I mean, there's no cheating, no nothing like that involved, guys. I mean, like, you can say whatever you want about me, but during those days for N14, 110% legit. No funky stuff whatsoever. But I would tease them and I like to mess with them, because imagine you're in this situation, you're fighting somebody and you think they're an insider. How does that make you feel? Makes you feel like quitting. And that's what I wanted N14 to do. I couldn't beat them because they would always can bubble. So the only way I could beat them is basically mind games. So I started the rumors that I was an insider and stuff like that. So that's where it came from. The legit truth is I'm totally not an insider. I know that they exist, but I'm not in that bucket. The only insiders I know are Chinese, bottom line, end of story. However, I've known they exist. I just know they exist. And today we're going to kind of expose some of the things that they're doing. So inside the game is basically an insider interface. And this interface is enabled on your account if your account is like special. You know, there's moderators, there's insiders, there's people who normally play the game. So insiders get an interface like what you're about to see here. Notice it's in Chinese because everything else can be in English, but you're Chinese, right? So insider, you know, and I'm just implying that all the insiders are Chinese, and I'm just not yellow enough for that. Whoops. So here we go. So they have this interface, and they can basically allocate whatever they want in the game. I'm gonna only make commentary a little bit. So today we're going to expose some of the insider interface. I don't know who they are. I'll let you guys speculate who they are. We'll talk more about like cheating in the game and like how King of Avalon deals with cheating. And this is gonna be part one. We'll see. We're just gonna keep going. So basically you can see that insiders get unlimited everything and they just push a button, they can upgrade, get whatever they want, whenever they want, and they don't actually really have to play. Saves them a lot of time, doesn't it? You guys get the idea. It just keeps going. It's basically everything in the game, and this interface exists in the game. I've confronted them about this before, and their answer is, it's just trash. I mean, like, they avoid the question, they dodge it, they don't want to tell you that they plant Chinese people in your kingdom that aren't spending just to force you to spend. They can't tell you that directly. They'll never admit to it because, well, that's their whole fucking business model. It would go out the window if there wasn't Chinese antagonizing Western people to spend. If there was no Chinese in your kingdom ever, and it was cool and it was peaceful, the game would just not be the same. The revenue would not be the same. So they can't admit to it. They won't ever show you this. They'll deny it when they see it. I mean, like, how can you fucking deny this? They just don't answer the questions, you know, stuff like that. Is a normal player able to use this? No. So even if you like look at this and you see it and you force it to show up, you can't use it. But wait, I'm gonna tell you something here in a minute, and it's gonna friggin' piss you off. Okay, so you guys get the idea, and it just keeps going on. It's every item in the game. It's available to these guys. They just push a button, they get it, and their tactics are generally like this. So if you didn't realize this yet, you're gonna be, okay, my friend and I were talking about this the other day, and it's basically gonna be like this. You're an SH20, you and your alliance are in a new kingdom, you guys are, putt-putt, having fun, kicking around, and then up rolls this big, aggressive Chinese alliance with SH30s and all this extra stuff. And it's like magic that they spent money and you didn't, right? It's just magic. This is just how it goes. And so what it most likely is it's, say, 50, 10%, 80%, however many percent of them are insiders. They've made these accounts. They talk to their Chinese buddies. They're all laughing, having fun. They may or may not know what's going on. They may or may not know. I mean, like, some Chinese are completely oblivious to this as well. So, I mean, they're totally innocent and they're just having fun. Their friends, they see their friends boost up, they boost up as well. I mean, it happens. There are some people that actually spend legit money in the game. It just happens. What percentage that is, I don't know, but it's not 100%. And so you got this. And so Western players are being exploited. Chinese players are being exploited too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like, it's going both ways, because when you see your friend boost up and you see he's an SH30, he's like, hey bro, just, boost up to SH30 and let's go kill these guys. I mean, chances are, what are you gonna do? So there we go. This is that. So this is like bucket category 1. We have insiders acting as a catalyst, being planted in kingdoms, trying to force this cycle of spending. FunPlus has 600 employees. You think those guys are doing what? What are 600 people doing? They're sure not writing code. They're not making creative updates for your graphics. SH41 to 45 is legit the same friggin' skin. You guys get off my butt about this. It was the same. That's it. And they're not spending like tons of time on it. I mean, they got 4 games and the difference between them is just a reskin. Okay, SOS, it's a little bit different. Dino Wars, it's a little bit different. But I'm telling you, at the fundamental level, when you look at it, it's just basically a reskin. Okay, now bucket category number 2. And here's the bomb I'm gonna drop, and I can prove this too. Since day 1 in the game, duplication of items is possible. Unlimited gold is possible. Basically, you could build a maxed account for like $1. I am not kidding. Seriously, I'm not kidding. This is bucket category number 2. And it was so super painfully obvious when you look at the source code for the game of how such a bad job that they did, that it's like a giant door was opened and it was like, walk right in. Seriously, guys, the amount of holes and exploits that are in the game is unreal. And it wasn't until 2 weeks ago that they actually did something small about it. I'm not kidding. It existed for 3.5 years. Let's go back in time. You know, before I knew all this stuff and stuff like this, the first year anniversary. Okay, so let's go back to, I've been playing the game. I've been in like 134 for like 2 or 3 months. Okay, I had been in other kingdoms. I'm just saying in 134, I've been there for 2 or 3 months. And I see these Chinese, you know, cheating and stuff like that. It pissed me off royally. I quit. And I mean, I log in, but I wouldn't rebuild my power. I wouldn't spend a dime, nothing. I was out. And it wasn't until the first anniversary that I saw them taking action against cheaters that I came back. I dropped like $20, $30, $40,000 in the first weekend. Seriously, this is a true story. I can show receipts on this. Don't accuse me of anything else. That was real money. And I came back and I beat them. And you know, I felt that they were going to take care of the cheating problem at that point. And at that point, these Chinese weren't necessarily insiders. They were just using the refund scam. So they'd buy packs, they'd refund, they'd buy packs again, they'd refund. And King of Avalon just let it slide. Why? Because, you know, you need Chinese to basically fight Western. That's their business model. And so they were letting the Chinese do refunds. You know, I was spending real money. I knew this was happening because I was, you know, getting leaked information from inside the alliance. I just knew it. And then when I saw them all getting banned for having done this, I was like, yay, they're gonna ban these suckers. But what they did is instead of truly banning them, they let them off with a marginal fine. So let's say they refund scammed $50,000. They had to pay like a refund penalty like $2,000, and then they were, you know, it was like a slap on the wrist. Okay, you're good to go. A few of them that couldn't even pay that, like Flawless, and their account was basically nuked and worthless forever. You know, so that's why Flawless at the time, I know this is old news, basically ended up dying. That account was worthless because they wouldn't pay the fine on it. And some of them couldn't even come back. So for this, the Chinese, they got a slap on the wrist. Some of the Turkish, they were hardcore on them. If you don't pay the fine, we're not letting you back in the game. So the Chinese and the Taiwanese, they got a slap on the wrist, you know. But then the Turks and some other people, they got a hard fine. The same thing happened with the Russians, I think 2 or 3 months ago. You know, when there's a big purge of cheaters and, you know, stuff like that. But they didn't actually purge the cheaters. All they did is they just removed the cheats in the Russians. So the things that the Russians were exploiting, they basically just, you know, closed that hole, just nerfed a big Russian part of the community and just moved forward. So here's how King of Avalon deals with cheaters in general. They don't ban them. They'll take like some of the stuff, all of the stuff, or they'll give you a fine. And okay, here's my big reveal. You guys should probably realize this by now. My SH41, 100% legit. Any haters, eat a dick. That was legit. My SH42, I had a guy say, hey, I can get you some extra badges. You're gonna be really lucky. I'm like, I know already that my King of Avalon career is coming to an end at some point. I'm probably not gonna play this game forever. Shameless self-promotion. I'm making my own game. This is a marketing thing for me. I love you guys. I'm trying to save you from this dog shit of a game. That's my real, passionate, true desire. I'm trying to, you know, really take me and all my friends, and I consider all you guys watching this my friends, to a new, better game. Seriously, that is my absolute motivation. My game is not gonna be pay to win. It's gonna be fair play. Free players are gonna have an absolute chance to just kick butt and have fun in it. This is my burning desire. So any of you guys that hate me, go ahead. I can take that. For anybody who's mad at me for doing like something, you know, a little bit funky, no problem. I can take it. I own that. So here's my big reveal. For 42, there was a guy, he said, I can get you to be really lucky on this Dragon Hordes thing. I'm like, So I let him do it. You know, paid the guy. I was really lucky on Dragon's Horde. Like, impossibly lucky. Don't ask me any more details on that. That's all I know. I mean, you know what I know. Just telling you straight up. So I got 42 the first day. So the first 41, 100% legit. Eat a dick, guys. 42, okay. I can kind of claim to be innocent. I really didn't know what was going on. I kind of knew what was going on, but it's kind of one of those things. Don't ask, don't tell. So 42 pops. Of course, I knew there was going to be drama for it. Absolutely knew there was going to be drama for it. But, you know, I mean, at what point it's like you don't care. You know, I mean, I know that they're going to keep dicking me around about this, and they're going to do everything in their power so that some Chinese guy is first on the leaderboard, like there is now. And so 42 comes out. I pay this guy. I get the badges. I upgrade to 42. I'm like, all right, I know. Like, my gut feeling is I know they're going to ban me again. But instead, they don't ban me. What they do is they shake me down. So they look at my account. They say, hey, what's going on with this? I'm like, I don't know nothing. And I was like, come on, Revenge. You know, like, tell us what's going on. So I told them, you know what happened? And they're like, all right, well, we're going to find you. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, because I didn't have any problem buying the badges legit. I mean, like, if they would put 45 out, I just buy 45. I mean, I'm not joking around, guys. You know, I mean, it wasn't a matter of I was trying to get the stuff for free or anything like this. I was just going for it. You know why? Because I know that if you don't shortcut in this game, you're not going to win. This is not a pay to win game. This is a cheat to win game. These motherfuckers are always doing something in order to give some Chinese guy an angle. Seriously. And, you know, I mean, like, if a Western guy does it, man, they're up in storm, because that's basically what's happening now. So things that are impossible to get, you can pay money, you can get it. And in this case, you know, I did. So I got some extra badges. It really wasn't that many. It wasn't going to be like game changing. I didn't have like T13s and all this stuff. It was a small amount. I didn't feel guilty about it. I know about the game, moved on with life. They fined me. I paid my fine. It was several $1,000s, by the way. Okay, so I paid my fine, and I said, are we square? My contact said, we're square, we're cool. And then there's a couple days going by. I'd log into my account, and I'd see, your walls have been burned. Please, danger, teleport out of here. And what did that mean? I was like, what the fuck is going on here? It meant that they had basically temporarily banned me for like an hour or 2 hours or what it was. My walls had got burned. I didn't log in. I didn't know, because I mean, I don't log in all day. I couldn't care less about this game during the day. You know, I care about a couple of events and that's it. So I log in, I'd see my walls were burned. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, this is so annoying. So they did that like 2 or 3 times. And then finally the other day is the big one. I'm like, would you guys quit kind of dicking me around? You know? And I mean, if you're going to look on my account and things like this, you don't have to ban me to do it. I mean, you can investigate me without banning me. It's not like I'm doing anything. I sit around, I kill dragons, I'm bubbled. I mean, like, what the, you know, seriously. And they're like, blah, 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 blah. But here's the story. So I have a script. I can kill monsters fast. I had a whole bunch of stamina saved, and I was planning to upgrade my research, because my plan was 2 things this week. I was going to max out my emblems, legit, spending money, guys. None of this nefarious, like, shady other stuff. I was going to max out my gems, or my emblems, and I was going to do mega research. I was going to, you know, really push to try and get as much bow attack and cav attack as I possibly could. If I could, you know, I was going to do the rally boost too. I had a lot of stamina, seriously. And so I had just killed a whole bunch of monsters, and I was upgrading it. And then, like, you know, I get this ban, and this is just like, come on, really? You know, so they're trying to do everything in their power so that I can't be prepared for KVK is what I think is happening. And then KVK, they're gonna just dirty dog me. This is legit what I think is happening. Whether my account is intact or not intact anymore, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. So let's go back to the other thing. Cheaters in the game are basically ignored. You can cheat and you can max out your account for $1 and they will absolutely ignore you forever, with one exception. If Chinese start reporting you, they will investigate. But again, here's the deal. Chinese will report you. Let's say, for example, Demo. His power boosted up to where he beat 242. They investigated him. He cried about it, rightfully so, because, it's kind of offensive to be, spending money and have somebody, assume this. So, but they investigated, but they only investigate what's reported. So they said, Chinese were saying, oh, he's cheating, he's building up too much power. So they would investigate, making sure that he bought the speed ups. Okay? But what they don't do is they don't check everything else in your account. They only do the bare minimum because, they've got so many cheaters in the game that they can't check everything. They can't take it all away. They can't ban all of them. There's just too much cheating in the game. Seriously, guys. So maybe Demo bought the actual speed ups to build the power, but maybe his gemstones aren't legit. Or maybe, he got some dragon's blood through, a connection. Maybe he used a package buyer, but that package buyer is using a wrong gateway. There are package buyers in the game, typically Turkish, Vietnamese, and Thai. And I'm sorry to pick on you guys, but these guys, these people who are selling these packs that are typically Turkish, Viet, or Thai, they don't get packs cheaper in their country. What happens is that there's a hack payment gateway. So the hack payment gateway will trick the King of Avalon system into thinking, oh yeah, this guy bought a package. It'll give him the package. But the actual amount charged on their Google account or something like this is zero. So the package seller is going to take basically all of the profit. Or maybe they're doing package swapping. This is another thing that happens too. So like the system will say, it's a $1 package, but they'll actually deliver a $100 package. So, there's a lot of different things that these package sellers are doing. And King of Avalon does not ban for this. Worst case, they'll fine you. There was a Singaporean guy who recently had this situation where he paid some money for a package seller, and that package seller was going through one of these hacked gateways, and he had to pay a fine for the stuff. But I'm telling you, this doesn't happen very often. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, it just slips past. They don't care. They seriously don't care. I've complained about this for years. I stopped complaining about it. If you can't beat them, join them. So fuck you. That's basically how I just started looking at this. This is not a pay-to-win game, guys. This is a cheat-to-win game. And how often you do it or don't do it or whatever it is, I don't know. It's entirely up to you. But just don't think that this game is like people actually spending money. There's plants, there's cheaters, and there's a percentage of us suckers out there who are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so people who think that I haven't spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, I have receipts. Seriously, legit, tens of thousands of dollars these past months. And whatever corners I cut in terms of royal badges and stuff like this, F you. I paid my fine, I paid whatever the price for it was. So people who think that I'm just like, zero spending, eat a dick. Whether I'm gonna get my account back or not, I'll probably get it back. But they're absolutely sabotaging me for KVK. They're gonna make it so that I lose, so that I can't get more badges. Oh, and just as a heads up, the morning that I was killing dragons, I couldn't buy more badges. They had blocked it. So they took that package away from me. So I'm sure if I come back, I won't even be able to buy that package. I'm probably gonna be a 42 for as long as there's not a Chinese 43. The day that a Chinese 43 comes out, they'll probably give the package back. That's what's gonna happen. I love you guys. I hopefully, this doesn't make you upset at me. Please forgive me. Everything that I've done has been, so that we can just, build a large community of people having fun watching the game. So that's it. This is my update. You know what I know now. Anyway, love you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Bye-bye for now.